Hey, what's up? I have some good news. I locked in 50 cents a share on 200 shares of CETX, and I'm going to tell you how I did it. If I could just freaking zoom out. So remember I had that phone conference with Mark Crook from the challenge, and he told me that I have to start looking at better plays. So I'm going to lead you down my thinking of the day. So I started with Atos was up. These are all the ones that were up. Atos, Seal, MGI, even DMPI. Remember I traded DMPI? Dova. These are all the low floats. Dova's kind of a little bit high. It's 14 million. And then CETX randomly popped up, and I made a decision on it. But let's go through Atos and all the other ones that I eliminated. So this is kind of like that scuba diver play thing that I was working on. It's like it's in a biotech, it spikes big, and it's like downward trending, like intraday's downward trending. It is a lower float. It's almost rotated once, but let's look at the daily chart. So I had this idea of a daily chart in my head as kind of like a patient's records. So I was like, how are they feeling? And I was like, okay, they spiked really big, and now they're kind of off of this 190 level, a little too far for me. Then I went to Seal, and it's a similar thing. I was like, okay, spiked big, downward, pre-market. Let's take a look at how they've felt in the past. 1 second. No. Okay, downward trending, like a miniature bounce, right? They had a spike over here that failed. Then I did MGI. MGI, okay, this is MoneyGram. I didn't really know what was going on. 8%, okay. Before I even look at the news, first, sorry, their float is kind of high, so I think I got this one from the watch list because it was doing overnight spiking. So this one also appears to be a second green day. So this is a pattern. It spikes big, it pulls back, and then it has its first green day. This is like the bounce. Like if you think of this as intraday, it's like a big spike, pull back, bounce. So I didn't even look at that, right? I would have been, I would have seen, okay, cool, green day. But look, just 50 cents a share. 2 days. Let's go to DMPI. DMPI I traded before. Wow. So huge spike over here. Did we look at the daily chart? I can't remember what I just did. Another biotech. When did I remember trading DMPI from the fives or in the fives. I can't remember. So I had this big spike, but this is kind of like, it's not exactly like a pattern. It's not like exactly like pullback, bank, bonk, and it hit like a lower high than before, but it seems to be bouncing off of this 145 level where it's gotten some support. So maybe that's what's happening now. 1 second. You know what else? Like, okay, I have something really important to say. Yeah, so kind of bottoms in the 120s. I don't know. I wasn't interested, but cool move. And a low float too, but didn't rotate so much, but still a cool move. I always think, like, could it be a chat room buy? Could it be like hedge funds? Like, I don't know who's making this big move on such little volume, So I don't know. But that's an idea that I got from Mark Douglas. This one, way too big float, didn't really rotate, right? So then I stumbled upon CETX. I left money on the table, dude. I really did, because this went up to the 440s. This went up $1 a share for my entry. So I'll tell you how I traded it, right? I was looking at the 5-minute chart. I was like, I don't really know where to entry. It was like enter, it was kind of here. I was waiting for a pullback to VWAP, but it never touched 3. And I was like, let me look at the 1-minute chart so I get a better view of how this thing is really moving. And I started looking at it. I was waiting for like the VWAP pullback. It was like, but this was kind of quick. So I was like, so right over here I felt like chasing a little bit, like I didn't want to miss out on the move. I know it's a low float. I know it's rotated so many times. And I was like, you know what? If this pulls back, I'm sure it'll like stop right around this area in the 340s, because it has some like top-notch support. Like at 339, so it should sit right back on top of that. Bad idea. Although it did work here, so this is how crazy this shit is, you know. It did not work here. I started to literally like almost freeze with panic, but just for like half a second because I was like, shit, 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 you know, what am I doing? What am I doing? And then I was like, collect yourself, woman. Where, you know, and my risk level was at 3 because I saw that it kind of bottomed here and here. You know, and that's really far away on 200 shares, 40 cents away. And then I double checked it over here in the 306s. So I think I had a good risk level, but I definitely chased my entry because look at this beautiful pullback to the 310s. You know, I could have been in from the 310s, but it's totally fine because it never broke my risk. You know, it got down to like 310, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher, 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 higher. Okay, so I was like, okay, cool, I'm cruising. You know, I think even I think this was my original risk actually of like 290 because I saw that it boop here and then boop and then, you know, kind of just sitting like right above it. So somewhere in like the 295-ish area. But this had higher lows. Like this was really like maybe, you know, maybe this was the point to buy in the 230s. Whoever is holding that is a genius, but I really did leave a lot of money on the table. It's such a shame. And you know what's funny? You know why I exited? I originally set my sell to $4 a share, and I saw that this candle was red. It was like just around like 390-ish, 396, and it couldn't push to 4, and it started going to 380, 387, 386, and I was like, you know what? Don't give back any of your profits. Like, get out of here. So that was an interesting lesson too because, and I was like, you know what, my new risk level is like, when it broke here, I was like, okay, cool, my risk is 360. Like, this thing keeps going. This is crazy. But let's take a look at the daily chart so we get a better understanding. Wow, man, I really left a lot of money on the table. I did not trade the chart the way that it was happening because I got scared. I got scared. And you know what's funny? These candles, they change. Like, remember how I said last time that it was a green candle that turned red? Now this was a red candle that turned green. And I'm looking at the 1-minute chart, you know? But realistically, on the 5, it's all green. So very interesting. Another note to self, right? So let's look at the daily chart. So I said, cool, I see you, CETX. Let's take a look at your daily. And hold on. No. One moment. And I was like, cool, let's actually look at the 2-year chart because I think you can see it a little bit better. Oh man, I left so much money on the table. But you know what? I locked in 50 cents. That's awesome for me. Good job, Liz. And now it's at record highs. Wow. I never expected a first green day to be higher than its previous spike of 450. Let's actually look even further back. But maybe this is because of its momentum trade. I don't even know what to think of it. Well, let's see. This is the news from today. Receives 5 million in orders. Backlogged at 50 million. So, I don't know. Kind of clear skies play, but it's coming up against resistance maybe here in the 540s, 530s. I don't know. Or maybe like somewhere in there, that chunk in the 5s. Oh man, I gave back so much money. I can't think like that though. I can't think like that. I had 50 cents a share after nothing for like 6 times. Like that's crazy. And you know what? It's all because of that phone call where he was like, dude, he didn't say dude, but you know, dude, you got to look at better plays. And I was like, cool, bro. I didn't say that, but I was like, cool, I will. And I am. So that's good. That means that I took the information and I processed it. And look at that. Look at that. Okay. Could have been up $1.50 a share. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that. This is when the Lambo becomes real again. It's like a vanishing image. Like first you see the Lambo, then it disappears, then you see it again. Then it's like a mirage in the desert. Okay. Not that I really need a Lambo. All I need is to be able to order delivery. You know, that is like a big treat for me. Okay, So, you know, you could have set your risk at 450 because now it's like panicking, right? And this was the breakout level. Whatever. The point is, by waiting for better plays and, you know, even though I chased, that was my mistake, but I was on the right track because it totally broke pre-market highs. It was holding its spike. It's a first green day. It's a low float. It has news. The next point of resistance is in the fives. Like, all these things are good, you know, not criteria, maybe indicators, you know, like points to back up my idea of why this was a good play. Very proud of myself. Thank you for watching this. I hope this gives everyone hope. And yeah, good. Yay. Bye, guys.